For years, Bugatti has been collecting more than $20,000 for what it calls a routine service. Owners paid it. Nobody questioned it. Why would they? It's Bugatti. But Matt Armstrong just pulled the curtain back on a system built on secrecy, inflated costs, and a customer base Bugatti seemingly assumed would never ask questions. The shocking part isn't the price. It's how easy some of these claims are to verify. And once you see what Bugatti and Matt Armstrong didn't want the public looking at, you'll understand why this story is turning into a nightmare for the brand. The company wrapped these eye-watering bills in exclusivity, prestige, and the illusion that everything on a Bugatti is somehow different. Right now, I can bet with everything I have that Bugatti's reputation has started working against them. When a company becomes untouchable, people stop questioning the bill. They stop questioning the parts. They stop questioning the story. The craziest part about this entire video isn't that Matt Armstrong serviced a Bugatti Veyron for just over £1,100. It's what that service revealed about Bugatti itself. For years, we've been told that Bugatti servicing costs are astronomical because these cars are engineering masterpieces. Owners are quoted $20,000 for routine servicing, and most people simply accept that as part of owning one of the world's most exclusive hypercars. But Matt's investigation raises a very uncomfortable question. Are Bugatti owners really paying for engineering, or are they paying for the badge? Because once the car started coming apart, something interesting happened. The more parts Matt removed, the more Volkswagen Group DNA started appearing. The spark plugs could be cross-referenced. The coil packs could be cross-referenced. The MF sensors could be cross-referenced. The gearbox accumulators could be cross-referenced. Even the gearbox pump motor had similarities to components used elsewhere within the Volkswagen Group. And suddenly, the image of a completely bespoke million-pound hypercar starts to look very different. Now, before anyone gets upset, there's nothing wrong with manufacturers sharing parts. Porsche does it, Lamborghini does it, Bentley does it, practically every manufacturer does it. The problem is, when customers are charged Bugatti prices for components that may have originated from much cheaper vehicles, that's where the real controversy begins. And if you want to see exactly how deep this goes, stay with me. Because what comes next makes the part story look like the beginning. So let's talk about what actually happens when a Bugatti goes in for service. The reputation arrives first. Before a single bolt is turned, there's a psychological atmosphere that surrounds a Bugatti. Technicians speak quietly. Owners are handled carefully. There are waiting lists. There are specialist facilities. There are conversations about exclusivity and precision engineering that happen before anyone even opens the bonnet. That atmosphere has a price tag attached to it. And owners don't just accept the bill, they're proud of it. Because paying $20,000 for a service isn't a burden when you own a million-pound car, it's confirmation. It's proof that what you bought is unlike anything else on the road. That's the psychology Bugatti has built its entire service business on, and for years it worked perfectly. Because who was going to question it? The customer base isn't shopping around for alternatives, they're not calling independent garages, they're not sourcing parts themselves. They're writing the check, taking the car home, and telling their friends what it cost, because the cost is part of the story. But then Matt Armstrong got hold of a Veyron, and he started asking the questions that nobody else was asking. The service begins, tools come out, panels come off, and almost immediately, something starts feeling slightly off. Because as Matt works deeper into the car, the components he's pulling out don't look like they belong to a completely bespoke hypercar. They look familiar. And in the world of automotive parts, familiar has a very specific meaning: the spark plugs, cross-referenced. Available through Volkswagen Group supply chains at a fraction of the cost Bugatti charges. The coil packs, same story. The MAF sensors, same story again. Each discovery feels minor on its own, but they start adding up. And this is where the video shifts from interesting to genuinely uncomfortable. Because the Veyron uses a W16 engine, 16 cylinders, quad turbocharged. It is by any measure an extraordinary piece of engineering. Nobody is questioning that. But extraordinary engineering and extraordinary parts are two different things. You can build something genuinely remarkable using components sourced across a group. The question is whether the people paying for it understand that, and whether the price they're being charged reflects engineering value or badge value. Then Matt gets to the gearbox accumulators. And this is where the numbers start becoming very difficult to ignore. Bugatti's own pricing structure would have owners spending well over £1,000 on accumulator replacement alone. These are components that, within the Bugatti ecosystem, carry Bugatti prices. But cross-reference those parts across the Volkswagen Group. Search carefully. Look at what else uses similar units. The price collapses. Not slightly, dramatically. And it wasn't just the accumulators. The gearbox pump motor became another moment that makes you stop and rewind the video. Bugatti's approach to a failed pump is to price the replacement as an assembly, the full unit, the full cost, which runs into thousands. Matt found the actual motor at the core of the failure, sourced it independently, repaired the component rather than replacing the entire assembly. That single decision represents thousands of pounds in the difference between what Bugatti would charge and what the repair actually required. And this is one of the most important things this video reveals. Manufacturers replace, independents repair. When a dealership or approved service center quotes for a failed component, the default response is replacement. Entire assemblies, full units, brand new parts bearing the correct logo. But when the gap between them runs into tens of thousands of pounds on a single service, it raises questions that Bugatti doesn't seem eager to answer. Now let's talk about the labor, because this might be the most revealing part of the entire story. Bugatti's service estimate included over 23 hours of labor. 23.5 hours. That number represents a significant portion of the total bill. At Bugatti's rates, labor alone becomes a serious financial commitment. Matt and his team completed the work in substantially less time. Now, to be completely fair, Bugatti technicians undergo extensive training. They work in certified facilities. Their hourly rates reflect a level of specialization that isn't available everywhere. That's a legitimate argument. And then there's the parts access issue, which might be the most strategically important part of this entire story. Matt couldn't simply call Bugatti and order what he needed. The official ecosystem isn't designed for independent access. It's designed to keep servicing inside approved channels. So he had to rely on independent specialists, his own research, cross-referencing, patience. That process works, as this video proves. But it requires time, knowledge, and the willingness to look beyond the official answer. The Veyron drives better leaving Matt's workshop than it did arriving. And then he adds up the total. £1,193, £1,100. That number sits across from $20,000 like a question that's impossible to ignore. Paying $20,000 for a service isn't painful at that level. It's a status signal. And Bugatti has been collecting that signal, monetized, for years. But Matt Armstrong just handed every Bugatti owner in the world a reference point they didn't have before. And brands don't recover easily from that. Because once the question exists in public, it can't be unasked. Other owners will start looking, other independents will start investigating, the cross-references will spread, the forum threads will appear, the YouTube comments will accumulate evidence. The closed ecosystem just developed a crack. So let's go back to where we started. Are Bugatti owners paying for engineering, or are they paying for the badge? The honest answer, based on everything this investigation reveals, is probably both. The engineering is real, the badge is real, but the price being charged for routine servicing doesn't appear to reflect the engineering alone. A significant portion of what owners are paying for is the controlled environment, the approved ecosystem, the absence of alternatives, and the story that Bugatti tells about what these cars require. Matt Armstrong serviced a Bugatti Veyron for £1,100. The car runs better. And somewhere in Molsheim, that number is causing a very uncomfortable conversation.